My name is Pablo Gonzalez, and what I do here for Spacebourne, I'm the CTO, and my background is pretty deep in most of these fields. What I'm trying to bring to the table is not just the technology and the rigor to actually do any kind of space product, but AI enablement, right? Spacebourne is the only difference that we have, what I think that we have is we're going to kind of bring those type of products to the next generation where we AI enhance them. There's a lot of entities that provide services, but those services are very basic, and some of those services are government created, right? So you can actually, the cool thing about it is that you can access those services, so you can get information, and what these entities never did before is take all that data, that wealth of knowledge, and do something with it, right? And what we're trying to do is do something with that knowledge, that data. And Galileo is probably our first step of utilizing hardware, and we're actually going to launch a satellite into space. We're not exploring space, but we're making products to do that. One of the things that we're doing, the first one, we're calling it Clarity. And what really that does is it offers ground station operators to know when to communicate to space without getting any interference.
My name is Ditesh Kshatriya, and I'm the CFO here at Spacebourne. My background is in finance. I started as a CPA coming out of one of the big four firms. I came out of PricewaterhouseCoopers. And since then have been in the private equity space, venture capital space, family office space, investment space, so on and so forth. And most of my career has been working with a lot of high-risk, complex type of companies, very similar to this. I think for me, I've really found sort of the sweet spot of where I like to work and where I can add the most value. And looking at a company like this, it is so on point, it's so on trend, has a bigger purpose. And I think that the way our founder and CEO is looking at this is there is an opportunity here that not nearly enough people are looking into. And I think we're going to be one of the first. So from our initial MVP SaaS product, we're talking about just 3 to 5 customers can put us in a $1 million to $2 million type revenue range within 12 months. And that to me is such a positive sign because that's step one, and it's the building block for then doing our CubeSat project, which was step 2. And in that project, we're talking $500,000 to $1.5 million per CubeSat that we launch. And then our third sort of orbital data center, we're talking in the range of, $30 to $50 million revenue by year 3 and north of $100 million by year 5. And then you take the power of all 3 of those sort of business divisions together, it becomes a very powerful company that is multifaceted in how it generates revenue. So our conversation is not so much, hey, give us some funds so that we can try to prove an idea. More so, our approach is going to be, hey, if you fund us, you're essentially just putting fuel on the fire to help us grow exponentially. We are very strongly, as an executive team right now, our focus is strategy and how to take this great operational idea and bring it into operational excellence.
My name is Keith Perry. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Spacebourne. I was in the Marine Corps for 30 years. Enlisted first, then I was an officer, and the last half of my 30-year career I was in Special Operations. We stood up Marine Special Operations Command, I did that, and then I was with the U.S. Special Operations Command, and I did that. I finished up my career in 2020. At the same time, got ready to move to Texas, which is where we're going to retire to, and started at Macomb, University of Texas at Austin, Macomb School of Business, and I did my executive MBA program with them. I had worked, I don't want to even say on the fringes of space, but utilizing space-based technology for much of my career. You have to have that disciplined approach, but you have to also be able to understand the disruption and the innovation that we're also trying to get across and to harness. As a startup, and I mean, I've seen these, I've had friends that have done it, I've seen incubators in Austin that have done this, and quite honestly, not everybody does it as well. It's basically taking what I did throughout my career working with small, highly competent and greatly functional teams at the special operations level and scaling that up to larger organizations. I did that when I was battalion commander, where I had about 1,300 people that were under me.
The space economy right now is exploding. There's tons of problems to be solved in the space economy right now. Tons. You can look anywhere and see something that you could potentially do as a niche. So the couple that I decided to focus on and that we're deciding to focus on have to do with the advancements in AI and the infrastructure that's going to be needed to support that. Spacebourne is an aerospace startup, and our mission and goal is to ultimately make Earth just one chapter in the story of humankind. And we're embarking on that journey by first solving critical communications and infrastructure problems. I feel like right now is the second coming of that golden age of space. Our team collectively combines more than 80 years of experience in technology, aerospace, finance, business, and defense and logistics. We've collectively shipped products to millions of people, brought billions of dollars in value, and successfully launched rockets to space. I understand that Galileo, the orbital data center, is a very ambitious project. So I wanted to start with something that would build our team, build our technical expertise and credibility, and that could solve a problem that's existing right now for current customers, something that we could get out quickly and something that can start generating revenue, and that could eventually be its own division. And of course, that would be our software product that solves for radio frequency interference prediction. It's an amazing way to solve the problem that's happening because of all the mega constellations that are being launched right now. So that will feed into building and self-funding our 3-unit CubeSat, which really is a validation demo for the data center.